And welcome to Nancy's Neighborhood. It's good to see you all this week, and we have a lot of exciting things happening. As I've told you, October is a busy, busy month for Cleveland Bradley County. Want to do a little plug for the Red Ribbon. First of all, I just went completely crazy over shawls and scarves and everything like that, and ordered in a whole bunch at the Red Ribbon, so you need to come by and see me. This is one of them. Very soft, very lightweight. This morning I needed something a little extra to put on over my daily clothes because it was a little bit chilly. And then this afternoon, of course, the sun is shining in beautifully through the window here overlooking parts of Nancy's neighborhood, but still it's comfortable. So come by the Red Ribbon and see me. Great Christmas gifts or great gifts for, birthdays, anniversaries, something like that. Now, I want to tell you about some things we've got going on, because we do have some things going on. And there's some things that are available to be done until October 31st, or through the end of that day. The blood assurance drive is still going on, and I've told you that this is a great opportunity for y'all to go donate blood. You'll get a shirt that says, "I bleed Tennessee, I bleed Alabama," any of those, there's a whole selection that you get. And we always need blood donations, especially during the holidays. Don't ask me why during the holidays, but it seems to be that's when we really, really need them. Also, the deadline for recipes for the holiday recipe edition for the Cleveland Daily Banner are due by closing time, 5 o'clock on October 31st. Now, that's Halloween, folks, so you get those recipes in. And if you have a picture of a recipe you've already done, that would be wonderful too. They'd love to have those. And Sheena was on here a couple of weeks ago with me, and she brought the Madeleines, which Jay and I ate, and they were really, really good. And that recipe will be in that section. So you can either mail them to the Cleveland Banner at P.O. Box 3600, and that zip is 37320, 3600, or you can email them to news@clevelandbanner.com, or you can go by their office at 1505 25th Street. Leave the recipe, and like I say, if you've got a picture, that would be great, because they'd love to have a picture. I'm one of those people that doesn't cook very often, but when I do, if I have a picture of what it's supposed to look like when I get through cooking, that always helps me, because if it doesn't look like that, then I know that I probably shouldn't just put it out and serve it. Other things that are coming up, on October 27th, we have Spirits, Legends, and Lore. That will be at the Lee University Communication Building Black Box, $10 for adults. I think it's $5 for students. I will tell you, I purchased my ticket today for the 6 o'clock telling, and I'm going to try to go to that, and then I'm going to try to run across the street because the Songs That Touch the Heart Redback hymnal singing is going to be at the Lee University Chapel starting at 7 o'clock. Doesn't cost you anything, but you got to call and reserve a space, because the chapel over there doesn't hold a large amount of people. So that's 614-8320. So I'm hoping to be able to go to the 6 o'clock telling and get across the street to the 7 o'clock singing. Now, on October 29th, we have Garden Plaza's Antiques Appraisal Show from 9 to 1. And I told you I talked to them, and it doesn't always have to be furniture. It can be jewelry, it can be lamps, it can be purses, anything that you have that's an antique that you'd like to know if it's valuable or not. Then on October 30th, and I'm hoping to have some of these folks on with us, the Lee students will do their annual sharing of local history during the Fort Hill Cemetery tours. And what they do, these students dress up as the characters that are buried at Fort Hill, and they stand next to their tombstone and they tell you their story. And these are people from the history of Cleveland, Bradley County. Very interesting, and I think you would really enjoy it. And it's a history class at Lee, and they get credit for doing this, and so I need to get them on here so they can tell you some more about coming out and being on the hill and seeing this, because it's really kind of, I don't want to say creepy, because it's not really creepy, but it's really kind of different to actually see these people standing next to their tombstone, although we know it's not the real people, it's people dressed up like them, but telling their story. And it's a real fascinating trip through the Fort Hill Cemetery. Now, I'm going to remind you that the Nina and Pinta replicas are in Knoxville through November the 2nd. And it's at Calhoun's on the River, 400 Nayland Drive. Really, I'll tell you a really quick story. A friend of mine that I Facebook with sent me a picture the other day on Facebook of a ship like this going down. They live on the river. and it was going by her house, and she said, I think the pirates are invading. And so I texted her back and said, I think that's either the Nina or the Pinta, and I told her about it, and that kind of, got real excited, and she says, oh, we'd love to go up there and see them up close and personal. So they have gone down, up the Tennessee, headed that way. Now remember, on the 31st, you have the Halloween block party downtown from 5 to 10. Costume contest begins at 5:30. Treat Street opens at 6. It's fun for all ages. You have the Dexter Thomas Band at 6, the Breakfast Club at 8, and it's a free event. And so you want to go down there and enjoy that. Now also, another opportunity you have on Halloween is Toyota of Cleveland's Trunk or Treat will be held that same night. It's from 4 to 8. They're going to have candy, party DJ, face painting, and the special guest will be Batman, Elsa, and the Jedi Warriors. And that is 3560 Village North Boulevard in McDonald. Now let me tell you a little bit about McDonald, folks. Some of y'all are thinking right now that you got to go almost to Ottawa to be in McDonald. Not true. Once upon a time, Flavis and I lived on Harris Creek Circle, and our address was McDonald. So it's just kind of right there where you go under the interstate, or you go under 64 on Highway 11. That kind of starts McDonald's. So the phone number there is 644-9715. So if you want to call them to get some information, that will be great. And one quick last little thing to tell you about so everybody can get excited about this. The Lee University Homecoming will be November 4th and 5th. And we will get some people on to talk about that. So I've kind of tried to cut my announcement short because last week my announcement just kept going. And I had guests on that I had to cut short, and because I took up too much time. So that's it for my announcements today. And we're going to take this commercial break, and we'll be back with my very first guest. And this is going to be really interesting, folks. So you want to watch these commercials and stay with us.